this past weekend. Nice one, huh? That's a nice one right there. Oh, holy night. That's a good one right there. And that is Oh Holy Night. That's a beautiful song right there. And it is by Johannes Bornlof. Bornlof. Johannes Bornlof. And he's coming to us live from another country. Not live, but he was live at one point. Johannes Born sounds dead, like he might actually be deceased these days. Thank you guys for joining me. Merry almost Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope you got a little bit of joy in you. That's Oh Holy Night right there. And I think they're talking about the night of our dear Savior's birth. That's what they're going into there, you know. And I think that's just that night where, you know, that baby shows up. Where that baby shows up. And that baby, they're talking about the dang Lord, you know. They're talking about that mulligan. You know, they're talking about humanity's mulligan. When God was like, dang, this ain't going so hot. I'm gonna send somebody, a trooper. I'm gonna send my little super trooper down there to shake it up. Shake it up. And that's when we got the Lord. And he showed up as a baby, you know. The Lord showed up as a dang baby. And people don't think about that sometimes. You know, because if I go into battle, if I'm going out there to get things done, you know what I'm saying? Heck, if I even go outside and it's raining, I need an umbrella. If it's going to be dusty, I need to, you know, have special goggles. You know, if I'm going into a scary area, I might take a bow and arrow or take a little hatchet. But to think that the Lord showed up out here, he showed up out here as a baby to do battle. And that's sneaky and that's beautiful. And that's one thing that I think sometimes about, you know, when you get into these stories of, into these religious tales. You know, and you hear them, and you know, they're all kind of like they're all, you know, fables, if you will. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not commenting on religion here. They're all stories. That's what I'm saying. They're all stories. They're all histories that are meant to teach us something. You know, no matter what book you're reading the story in, or no book at all. But I do believe you're out there running freelance without any higher power in your life. Good luck out there, okay? Because you're trying to work an iPhone without a charger cable, as far as I'm concerned. But it is interesting when you think about that, the Lord showed up as a dang baby to do battle. Dude, that's the last thing I would do. It just doesn't seem, it's, you know, well, first of all, nobody expects it. So it's crafty. That's crafty. But you're just so, you don't have any real, I mean, your special skills are crying, you know, cuteness, making noises, cute noises. That's like basically your superpower is cute noises and burping. I mean, that was the Lord's superpowers when he showed up as a baby. You know, and that's just brave, I think. I think it's brave to show up and do battle, to take take away the sins of the world as a dang baby. You know, Spider-Man was Peter Parker. You know, Clark Kent. You know, at least Superman, he started off, he worked at a newspaper. But the Lord showed up and said, you know what? Send me in as a baby, and I'm still going to get the job done. So I got to say, world's most successful baby or entrepreneur as a human, the Lord. And it's that time of year, man, and that's what they're talking about, that oh holy night. And it's just about, you know, how you show up. How do you show up? And this holiday season, that's what I'm thinking about. You know, it's been a tough year. For me, it's been a tough year, I feel like, to be a man. And we've discussed that over the year, and, we've all thought about it. We've had a lot of callers. And it's been tough, and I'm tried. Constantly, I'm tried. I'm tried by my own ego. I'm tried by the world. I'm tried by others. Everything tries me, tries to get me to step outside of my goodness, It's trying to get me to step outside and be reaching out in the dark arts, and reaching into, I'm supposed to just be at the fridge to get a sip of milk, but next thing you know, I'm in the cheese drawer. And I got a knife and I'm cutting little pieces of cheese into my mouth, or I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. And that's what I find a lot of times, is that it's hard for me to stay in my zone, stay in my manhood, and just toe the line. It's tough. It's tough out there. It is tough out there. And to show up as a baby and to toe the line, I think, that's pretty cool. And it's a powerful story. And also to be born out there in the desert, man. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I know good and well. Have you seen a baby out in Arizona, dude? You go out there to out towards Bisbee, Arizona, out there outside of Glendale, where it hits 130. Dude, you see a baby out there look like a damn lizard. I mean, they got babies out there weigh 4 or 5 pounds, and they're probably about 9 months old. You got a lot of babies that look like smokers. They look like they've been smoking cigarettes. And they're, scaly. You know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of, they got that lizard in them. They got long tongues. I mean, it's hard to be a baby in a desert, because you need milk. They barely have anything you can even get milk out of in a desert. And it's that time of year, though. It's that oh holy night, and I like hearing that one on Christmas Eve and on Christmas time, and and I picture myself, doing something romantic, honestly. And that's what I guess what I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking about holidays are this week. I just got to get through this week, and how am I going to show up as a man and do what I got to do? Because I need to. I need to be there if I got a family. I need to be there, I got to treat my spouse or my significant other with some respect. One thing you can definitely do is, I notice, if you get your ladies a gift, don't use the same wrapping paper that you use for the children's stuff. Dude, get your girl something nice. Get her some nice paper or something sentimental. Wrap it in a, maybe her favorite shirt or your favorite shirt. Tape it up. And just use different things than you use for the children's stuff. Show her that you did that little bit of extra. Or if you're dating a man, if you got a man that's a lover, if you're in love with someone that's just like you, which I think that's the only thing sometime about homosexuality. It's a little bit It's a little bit egotistical, Oh yeah, I think I'm such a great man. I'm gonna love another man. That's the part sometimes to me. But you got to show up this year as a man, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out there, and let my small breasts out. These baby A cups I got. It's tough out there. It's tough. But you got to spend a little bit of time with your lady. Maybe take a walk with her. Hold her hand. Tickle her. When was the last time you tickled your lady? Or your husband? Snuck up in the kitchen and tickled that motherfucker, boy. Get the giggles out that bitch. Make them bubble at the fucking mouth. You tickle them and love them. Just shh. You fucking shake them, boy. I remember this thick boy one time. I think I've told this story. Started tickling me early in the morning in a hot tub one time on a cruise ship. And I'm trying to keep him off, and his body was all hot. You know, he had them kind of kid tits on him. He was thick boy, Midwestern boy, you know. I'm talking South Iowa boy, you know what I'm saying? Where the gristle don't miss you. And he had that, just that gunt up under his chin, you know. He had that neck belly, that Nelly, you know. And he, or that threlly, maybe that throat belly. He had that threlly. And I had to grab him by that threlly and keep him off of me. But because he was in the warm water in the hot tub, he was getting handprints and stuff all from me defending myself because this boy was tickling me. Which I think is shady to be tickling somebody you don't know. You tickle a loved one, or you tickle a kid at a party. You know, where you tickle an old man if they're, you know, sleeping on a plane or something, and you're trying to liven them up. But you don't just tickle fucking just, you know, you just don't tickle an adult if you're a kid unless you're trying to, I think, get that money. I think, and in hindsight, this boy was trying to get me to get randy with him, so then it looks like I'm trying to, you know, be weird around children. You know, next thing you know, he shows up, he gets out of the hot tub, he's got my handprints all over him from defending myself, and next thing you know, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of look, because it obviously looks like I've been touching him, because his body holds a lot of handprints, because he got that, you know, that gristle, that hot, when you got a little bit of meat on you and a little bit of thickness, when it heats up, you can leave handprints on it. And that's just a trial that I went through, and that was last year. But yeah, it's time to show up and be a man. So you got to do something special with your lady. You got to tickle her, you know, touch her neck, you know, touch her ears, man. You know, touch it. But when's the last time you touched your lady's ears, or your husband, if you got a little husband? You know, it's time. It's that time of year to show up like a man. Maybe do a little bit of recommitment to your loved one, or tell your kid you love them again. Because I've never had a child, dude, but I've been around some children. And sometimes it's hit or miss. You know, I was with a group the other day, and there was a man who, you know, admitted that he had never really loved his son, because his son wasn't really the way that he wanted his son to be. And that shook me down. You know, I never even had a child, but, you know, it's just crazy it's just a heavy thought to think that kind of stuff goes on out there, and there's nothing we can do about it. Sometimes just the way we are, you know, we just have to manage it. You know, if we got an infection, and we got an affliction, and we got a little bit of the dark arts, you know, we got that fancy nasty just nipping at our neck. If that fancy nasty monster is nipping at your neck, sometimes you just have to just shake it off. And you got to stand there and do whatever man have to do and be a man. You know, that's where I'm at. But I wish everybody a happy holiday season. You know, be that baby. Show up and be that wild baby. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Jesus Christmas was a beautiful baby. I mean, that baby showed up in the desert. Had a couple of old dudes walked out to the middle of the desert to meet a baby. Now, 100% illegal to do that. 100% illegal. In fact, it's a TV show now. Hell, if you're an old man even going to meet a 14-year-old for some lemonade or whatever, they bust you. So the fact that 3 old men were cruising out into the desert to meet a child, that's a crime now. That's wild to think that what is the story of one of the most popular religions is now a crime. And they got sheep there and animals. You can't have children around livestock. I know that there's some, you know, in some states there's some legal issues about that if you're trying to transport them across state lines and stuff. So, who knows? Who knows? But I think if the Lord ever come back, it's going to be through an alien, or how else could he come back? Maybe portal, wishing well. I don't know. He could fly out of Elon Musk's nutsack, I bet. Who knows how he could come back? But it's nice to think. It's exciting. And it's exciting. And that's what we got to do this holiday season as fellas. We got to stay in there and stay excited. You got to show up. Get active. Don't be thinking. Don't be begrudging. Go to your mother-in-law's before you get there. It's not the same old visit. This isn't the same visit you went last week. This isn't the same visit you went 2 weeks ago. This is a special morning. You got to make it special. Make it special for your spouse. Make it special for your children, your animal. Put a jingle bell on your animal. If you got a special animal, put a couple jingle bells on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Show up and do what you have to do as a man. You gonna make mistakes? Dude, I made a mistake earlier. I had I've always run out of gas in my life. And with automobile, I'll run out of automobile gas. And most automobiles run on gas, dude. And I'd love to have one of the future cars that do not, where they're running on electricity, or some of them are just running on good ideas, or just, I don't know, they got some of them out here, some of these little coasters, Looks like somebody got a little coffee filter on wheels out here, and that thing looks like it's running on a couple of dudes dry humping in the trunk. I don't know how those things are running, what energy those are running on. But you want to... so I've run out of gas a lot in my life, ever since I was a child. I didn't know that people didn't run out of gas. A lot of times I would see people on the side of the road, and I always thought, they ran out of gas, And I'd run out of gas, I ran out of gas probably about 20, 25 times before I knew. I told a buddy of mine, and this was in college. I was like, damn, man, I called him, like, I run out of gas, man. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm out, man. Fresh out, And he said, what the fuck, you're fresh out of gas? I said, yeah. The car only holds so much. Most of the car is empty space. The trunk, they could put gas in there, but they don't. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. And anyway, he came and picked me up, but it was wild because at that point, he's realizing that I'm realizing that a lot of people don't run out of gas that much. But yeah, I ran out a ton. I remember one time we ran out at a summer camp, and I had a bunch of the kids help me push the car, and everybody's parents got upset. And I blamed it on a friend of mine, and I think he actually got laid off. But he also was throwing rocks at some of the children. He said it was like a game they were playing, but I don't think that's, it's not a fun idea to be throwing rocks at other people's kids. Especially not from close up. That's dangerous. But I have a little cafe here. I'm sitting here. And I'll tell you one thing I'm about to tell you about how I spilled gasoline in my trunk. But first, I'm going to tell you about that Gray Block Pizza. And we're so grateful to our charter sponsor, that Gray Block Pizza. And that's at 1811 Pico Boulevard here in Los Angeles when you're on your way to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Before you even get there, open your mouth, walk inside. Look at the menu. Look the order person in the eyes. Tell them to fill you up. Get that hitter. Gray Block Pizza, the link will be in our notes here for the episode. And they got beautiful pies over there. And that's Italian full-time food. That's 24/7 pizza. Some food you can't be like that. Now and laters, when do you eat them? It's hard to decide. You have one in the morning, you're a fucking creep. You have a couple maybe in the afternoon. Nobody eats now and laters at midnight. Some food you can't have all the time. But pizza is that. Gray Block provides it. I ran out of gas, right? So I decided I'm going to get a can of gas and put it in the trunk of my car because I've ran out of gas twice this year. So I decided I'm going to put a can of gas in the trunk of my car. I put it in there, and I guess the thing wasn't all the way locked in on the top, the lid, the top. So I've been driving around for 2 days, man. I opened that thing up today. I started smelling gasoline. I opened that up. Whoo! Boy, that trunk is ready. That trunk is ready for something. That trunk is ready to do a little 911, a 912. That thing's ready. I'll sell that to an angry Saudi Arabian. I bet I'll sell that car to an angry Saudi Arabian for top dollar. Because that thing is, it's wilding out. So I'm going to leave the trunk open while I'm out of town over the holidays because I'm going back to Louisiana tomorrow. I'm going to leave the trunk open and let some of that gasoline get out of there because there's probably at least a half gallon that got bounced around in that trunk. But yeah, I didn't realize a lot of people don't run out of gas, and and I'm still going to do stuff like that. That doesn't make me not a man if I do that kind of thing. If you run out of gas with your family this time of year, that's fine. Y'all be cute, put on hats, get out there, hitchhike. Anybody would pick up a beautiful family and some hats. That's easy. That's an easy one. But still, show up, be a man, be who you are. Be a man, do what you have to do. And sometimes you got to, admit when you're wrong. And last week, I talked about a caller called in, and who had brought a date to the show. It was a first date, and he called in a long time ago. This is a long time ago, and I had his girlfriend hit me up over, some social media or something. Or no, they'd gotten my number. His girlfriend hit me up, or the date, not the girlfriend hit me up, and she offered some sensuality, and I took it. I agreed to it. I knew it was wrong. I knew that I'd met these people. I hung out with them, and the next thing you know, I'm out there trying to cultivate this lady, and I felt bad about it. But we had some calls that came in about it. Some of our listeners weren't happy. I'm gonna comment on that in a second. But here's a guy who called in. He called in a couple of times as he heard the episode from last week. He called in a few times. Here it is.
Fucking serious, dude? I just had to turn the podcast off because I think you just lost a fan, man. This is Joe from Pittsburgh, and I just heard you talking about how you fucked this dude's girlfriend knowingly. You knew exactly what the situation was. You went out with these people. You went to the bar. You hung out. And you went behind this dude's back. And you fucked this girl. And you said it wasn't even a good time.
Dang, man. Hearing you say it like that, Joe, is you making me feel like a child. You really are making me feel like a child. And I guess, it was childish behavior. I was childish behavior. Homeward.
Good time. So basically it wasn't even worth it. Theo, you got me so heated I had to call back and leave a second message.
This is his second call. Joe called 3 times.
And I just can't stop thinking about the story you just told about fucking this guy's girlfriend.
And he keeps using the word fucking. And look, I appreciate you calling, Joe. And I'm playing this because I want I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. And I want to know. And I don't want to shy away from what's going on with me. But also, you say fucking a lot, buddy. And I wouldn't call what I do in the bed always fucking, I would definitely call it, sporting around with my dick or cock, or entertaining a vagina. But definitely fucking is something like I feel like a brother does, or like a real hearty Italian, or those really skinny Polish dudes on the internet. Them dudes, my God, man. They look like they're powered by hydroelectricity, they just got that one pump just going, but that's not what I do, boy. I'm that shifty grifter when it comes down to being involved with the body parts. I'm not I wouldn't call sex my expertise at all. I'm a novice fucker. I've been in there. I've been out in them cooter streets, I've been out in them cooter streets and them booty byways, but I'm definitely a novice. It's just not my finest attribute, my sexual abilities. Now, sometimes I'll get out there and, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they think they're getting that Miyagi, and I'll hit them in the cooter with that karate kid, with that cockrotti. Hi-ya. But let's hear more, Joe. But the fucking, you're making me feel like you're almost giving me too much credit. Onward.
I can't. Maybe she wasn't his girlfriend, but they were obviously together. They were out together. You knew it. Men are supposed to be hunters. I can't imagine that you can't go out and find your own chick. It's kind of like walking into somebody else's house and shooting their cat instead of just going out into the jungle and hunting a real tiger.
I don't know if it's like that, but let's hear more.
All right, Theo. Had some time to cool down. Still a little upset. Still going to be a fan. Once the tiny sand who hit me, I knew I had to call back and just let you know that I still don't approve.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe. I do appreciate your call. The thing is, like, I thought, for a while it didn't put that call on. But then I just felt like I had to. If I'm going to expect callers to call in about real stuff that's going on in their lives, and I'm going to put some of their lives, not on blast, but on, if we're putting shit out there, then I'm going to put shit out there. I feel like, what is our life if we're not really sharing what's really going on, or trying our best to share what's really going on? dude, trust me. I'm just trying my best to share. You know, there's some stuff that, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get out of my mouth or get out of my heart or get out of my brain. You know, there's some stuff that's inside of me that I don't even know what it is. You know, so I'm just going to do the best to articulate what I can in the meantime. And I'm not, there's going to be a lot of stuff I'll probably do wrong. And this is the thing that I did wrong. You know, I hooked up with this dude's girl that he brought to the show. That's fucked up, man. It's douchebag stuff. Like, imagine I go to I take a girl to a dude's show. And I take a girl to a dude's show, and next thing you know, I find out later. Then I go on a second date with her, and I find out she hooked up with the dude whose show I took her to. Man. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes we need other people to show us what our behavior is and to really give us a look. And so I just commend that guy for calling in originally and for, and for telling and for, putting me in my place. Because the next time that opportunity presents itself, I'm not going to present myself to that opportunity. And look, dude, I've had some addictive behaviors when it's come to women in the past, for sure. And I still struggle with it today. I remember a time I was living with this fella, and he used to train, well, he didn't train cats, but he would smoke some marijuana, and I would smoke some, but I didn't like smoking marijuana with this boy, Mr. Ken. And his name was Mr. Ken, and he actually did some karate. And he had some cats, and he has 2 cats that already lived with him, and then I moved in and took the second bedroom. So I didn't have any say in the cats. I can't move in and be like, oh, what are these cats doing here living with us? Because the cats already lived there. They were his cats. He was a cat owner, which is how that's even a real term in the universe. Cat owner? Yeah, for now, dude. Till Mother Nature fucking strikes back. And they got lions eating fucking, they got lions, just chomping down on the spines of of whites and Koreans out in the streets of Memphis and streets of anywhere. Then we'll see who's a cat owner. Because Mother Nature's about to fucking fuck everybody up. But anyhow, Mr. Ken would get high, and he would make me come out in the living room. He'd have all these empty boxes stacked up, and the cats would climb up and get in the boxes. I guess one of them was kind of a show cat, and the other one was just kind of a secondary cat that seemed a little bit supportive of the first cat and would do some of the same type of... Mr. Ken called them tricks. I didn't think they were tricks. Watching a cat when I'm high or 2 cats get into a box, that shit's fucking stupid to me. But I guess I felt a little scared of Ken because this dude would do karate in the house. We were both adults, man. We were 30. So when you're doing karate in the house and y'all just met, there's something going on there. That's when somebody's nipping. That's when somebody's catching a little bit of the, they might have a little bit of, they might have something loose in their spine or something. And their brain stem might not be on 100. They might have some of that ape glue or whatever it's called, keeping their brain stem locked into their spine. But so anyway, I'd have to watch these cats get high and whatever bullshit. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Fuck, I forgot what I was even talking about just now. Mother Nature, I was talking about the cats. I was talking about, I had that roommate, Ken, and that fellow you said it's like a tiger, it's like a cat, man. Yeah. I don't think it's like going into somebody's house and shooting a cat. I think it's just that, I was telling you this. So Ken, Mr. Ken, the dude who I lived with, one time I was moving out. I'm moving out of the place, right? And nobody had come to see the apartment. I'm showing the room. He's been advertising it because his name is on the lease. So I'm showing it, and this hot chick comes over. And I showed the room, and I started flirting with her, man, because I couldn't help myself. Sometimes I just cannot help myself. And Ken told me, I ended up getting her number. And Ken told me she left. He's like, man, she's really interested in the place. She seemed really cool. Don't hook up with this girl, man. Do not hook up with this girl. And I said, okay, Ken, I won't. I promise that I won't, man. And then a few hours later, whatever, she and I are texting. I invite her out we went and did something or whatever. Then she came back to the place with me, the room she was considering renting, and we made love. We made we made first degree or second degree love. Because like I told you, man, I don't shift into high gears when it comes to sex, boy. You know what I'm saying? I got that artful idol. I got that attack idol, but I don't have that third and fourth gear. You know what I'm saying? You might find me strutting out in second, but you're not going to see me in third or fourth. But I ended up banging this young lady, and Kim was pissed. Kim was pissed, man. And I think actually she ended up giving me whatever the one is you got to get salt pills or whatever to get rid of. It's an infection in your wiener. But it's something that you can get cured real easy. Penicillin cures it. They don't really have it anymore, but it used to be popular back in the day. And she and I split a case of that. But yeah, it's obviously been something that I've struggled with in the past, and I think it's just that I have to, I feel guilty. I don't know. I just have to. I need some attention. There's something inside of me that's broken or something that needs some attention, and I need it from women, I guess. And sometimes I make poor choices because of that inside of me. But it's gotten less and less over the years, and it's something that I'm aware of now. But I'm far from perfect. But I'm going to put my stuff out there on this cast, especially if I'm going to expect you guys to do the same. So I appreciate your call, Joe. I'm sorry that I didn't live up to your expectations, but I promise you that I probably won't live up to them again, man. I really probably won't. So let's keep it cruising right here. We got a rap that came in. I haven't heard it yet. We're going to hear it for the first time together. Here's a rap that came in about last week's episode.
My favorite comedian's name is Theo Vaughn. I always be laughing whenever he go on. I download the episode as soon as it drops and hear that celebrate living, baby, right from the top. This past weekend was amazing. He got so hungry that he almost ate an Asian. He goes to Denny's even though he fucking hates it, because he always sees a beard on his waitress. He got a problem with his hair, you should save it. He knows it sucks, he's just trying to make a statement. He used to jerk himself a lot, he used to spank it. His brother tried to touch his dick under a blanket.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was during one of the holiday seasons. Onward.
He wishes that his neck was just a bit longer. Take your date to his show, he might dong her.
Ooh. This is Jay Savage coming in with this, and I haven't heard this yet. The guys we got helping out now pulled this out of the hotline and put it out for me. And there's more. Let's go.
But he'll apologize, because that's the dark arts, like people calling in and saying that they eat farts. Drug-induced gay sex at a rest stop, but they ain't resting, they aggressively ingest crap.
Wow, he popping off about them rest areas. And we used to shoot potatoes they used to have gay men meeting up behind the rest areas and hugging when I was growing up, and some people used to shoot potatoes at them, and we got involved in that one time accidentally. It was kind of like a local pyramid scheme, and, we didn't know what was going on. We were just children. Onward.
My dude Theo is a hamster expert, a guinea pig prodigy. He's really smart. You would think he had a law degree. Someone should give his ass a PhD in mockery. He talks about his feelings, and that really means a lot to me. Plus, he's been in bed with fucking Joan Rivers. Coming to the stage is a stone cold killer. So go ahead and drop his ass a couple billers on Patreon, because there ain't nobody realer. Theo. Great block. Jay Savage. Hitter. What up, Tiny Sandu? Holla at your boy.
Wow. That's awesome, Jay. I appreciate that. That's Jay Savage coming in here. Wow. Man, that covered, I felt like my whole life. You know when your mother, I don't know if some of you guys had this, and this is a blessing. My mother made a baby book for me when I was young. My mother, we've never been really close in our hearts, I don't think. But my mother, when I look back, she made this baby book for me. And sometimes when I feel really disconnected, I'll go read it, and I'll, if I just need proof sometimes that, that my mother cared about me when I was a kid. And I can ask her, she'll say yes, of course, but sometimes I don't know, something's wrong with me sometimes, and I need more. I need more than that. And so I'll go read this baby book, and my mother was very meticulous at writing down, little pieces of my life and things and stuff like that. And it makes me feel a little more whole. Just everything. Like, Theo was, 27 inches today, and he likes to touch his feet, or, he will chew on the edge of his shirt, and he smiles when I turn on the light in the room, or little things like that just, when I look back on, I know that she was very aware of me. And you might think, well, that's stupid. Of course your mother was aware of you. You were a child. But, sometimes when you struggle with addiction and those sorts of things, there's something inside of you that's broken right around that area where you don't feel that all the time. And if you don't feel that all the time, then you need reinforcement, which is why people like me go to different, groups, or, seek out therapy, stuff like that. But Jay, what I'm getting to, Jay, is that this was almost like that a little bit, man. This was fun, and this was real, and I really appreciate it. I got a lot of nice calls this week. People just saying thank you, and people saying they love the podcast, and people giving some ideas of what we can do for the new year. And we got things going on behind the scenes here. We got things, Gray Block's coming in and supporting us and helping us get to, we're expanding. We're going to be able to get some guests in for the second episode each week, and we have some fun ideas. We're starting to implement them. We've had fans reach out with, I've had about 8 producers that reached out. Bud Galloway, Chris, Shy Chris, and he's a Latino, and it's just, we got people on helping out now, and it's coming along, and this is awesome, Jay. Thank you, because I know you obviously spent some time doing this, and we'll go out on it again maybe at the end today. If not, I'll put this up separately on the YouTube so people can check it out. But thank you for that, Jay. It's just nice. You went through it. It was real. We talked about the highs and the lows in there, some things that make me feel good and some things that make me just feel. And sometimes for me, it's just about feeling. If I can feel, I just need to feel. It doesn't matter if it's something that feels, there were times in my life where I just needed to be mean. I needed to, there are times where I just need to feel like people love me immediately. I need to feel the affections of women. I need to feel like everybody's my friend. I need to feel supported. I mean, I have a disease where I need to be on stage. Being a stand-up comedian is an affliction. I have to go into a room with a couple hundred people that I do not know every night and I need them to laugh at me so I can go home and lay in bed and feel okay. People are always like, you must feel on top of the world. There's about 4 or 5 seconds when I get off stage where I feel in my body it's not a superpower, but it's an elevated, I feel elevated within my skin and my spirit. But then after that, I just feel okay. I just feel okay, which is all I'm ever just trying to feel anyway. I'm not even in this world a lot of times to try and feel good. My biggest battle and the toughest thing for me to feel in this world is just to feel okay. But you guys are helping me, and I appreciate that, Jay Savage. We got another call that came in right here. I want to get to us just keeping the vibe going here on this Christmas and showing up like men. And here's a man showing up right now and asking for some help with something that's going on with him. Let's go.
Hey, Theo. This is Matt from Cleveland. You said to call maybe if you had some addictions you're dealing with, and my addiction is a little strange. I'm a big guy, and I just have a really bad food addiction, eating.
Oh, you on that food? You that calorie power boy, huh? Let's hear more.
Really bad food, and you think it would be as simple as just, not eating bad food, but I genuinely do not like healthy food at all. I don't like salads. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't really like plain water.
Plain water? That's just water.
So I was wondering just, maybe what your advice is for someone who is having a hard time, trying to eat and be healthy in their life. when the stuff that, is better for them is just not very appealing.
Okay, this is a good question. And you know what I'll do with this? I'll do for you. This won't be until January because I'm going home, and I'll do an episode from home. But I'm going to have other callers call in, and who might know more about this. I know we have some fitness guys out there who are in that universe, and this is something that we all struggle with. Do we all want that snack? We all want that piece of nast up under our tongue. If you telling me if I could look, even if you tell me if I could set a celery stick on top of my tongue or 2 hits of acid under it, I'll take 2 hits of acid. I used to eat acid. So I know, look, you talking to a man who's got some rough eating habits. So I feel you. If you'd rather have a hot dog or a foot-long dog, or you rather have a little stack of grilled turkey necks or some grilled cheeses, or you just fucking waking up in the middle of the night and cracking open a can of soup from the side and just getting that hitter, that's your life, man. But you're reaching out now because you want to see how can I get out, how can I evolve out of this. I'm going to tell you, first of all, if you have a real addiction to it, then there's groups. There's a group somewhere you can get into for food addiction. Snackers Anonymous, Chocoholics, people that's fucking, hiding grilled cheeses and, cheesy sticks in their ass. Some people don't even want to eat. They just put the food right in their ass, bruh. So there's all types of people out there that have problems. So that's okay. It's okay to have a problem. You're trying to get past it. You're trying to figure it out. And I think a 12-step program could really help you. But otherwise, maybe some people out there know. So some guys hit the hotline, 985-664-9503. Matt likes to eat the shit. And I feel you, dude. You don't think I want to Look, I'll say this all the time. I don't want to eat that turkey salad. I don't want to eat that tuna fish cut sandwich. I don't want to get when I go to Wendy's, I don't want to get the salad and get a burger, but throw the bun out and break the meat up and put it on the salad. I want to get the fucking chili, bruh. And I want to pour out. We used to try to do the whole thing of chili in one big gulp and burn our throats. Playing hot canal, me and my brother and his friend, Jeremiah. We used to play hot canal, and that's when you get that chili from Wendy's, pinch your nose off, and just take that thing. Take that douse, boy. But you can't do that shit at a certain point. You got to start taking care of yourself. So how do you do that? You got to find some substitutions. You got to find things that entice you about eating healthy. But look, man, I say this all the time. I'd love to go lay in the park and shoot dope. I'd love to be jacked up on heroin, and babysitting. I'd love to get a damn 8-ball and sit in a hammock and take a fucking nap. Take that impossible nap. Because I'll be that impossible napper, boy. I'll be that fucking nap MacGyver. People are like, you can't sleep on this. You can't sleep on this 8-ball. You can't sleep on this acid. Watch me. Watch me work. Watch me catch these Z's. But what I'm saying to you is I can't do that because we have to aim to better ourselves somewhat. And I know that's why you're calling, and I don't really have the answer for you, except that I know it's possible. And you're going to have to find some ways to do it. I would start with fruits, man. Vegetables, I don't like a lot of vegetables, but I would start with fruits. Juice and stuff. Juicing is good. Getting some carrots. You can put peanut butter on any vegetable, and it's pretty good, except for, just peanut butter and spinach. Not that great. But let's see if some callers come in, call for you, Matt, and I appreciate you calling, man, because that's a real addiction food. I want to be that fucking sugar bear. I want to fucking lay on my back and spread my asshole open and have somebody pour fucking honey in it. I have a sweet tooth, man. I got sweet teeth in my ass, it seems like. I want them sugar donuts. I want them snacky breads. I want all of that. I want that powerful fucking cinnamon glaze. I'll let somebody take a can of fucking creme brulee paint and paint the inside of my mouth with that shit. I want that sugar. I want that affliction. I want it all, but, I have to do something better for myself, and you can too, and you will. and let's see if we can help. We'll have people hit the hotline. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys calling. It's just a follow-up episode from last week, and I appreciate it. And I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays to everybody. Be a man. Show up. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do anything crazy. You just have to show up. You just have to show up. Be of service. Help out. Help out. Help somebody. Hug somebody extra. Bring 2 extra hugs to every party you go to and hug a motherfucker. You know my thing. Hug somebody that don't like you. That's my thing. Get it on video. Send it in to me. And I'll make sure to post that thing. Hashtag hug somebody that hates you. But I want to thank everybody. Oh, I got a couple of Christmas gifts. I want to tell you about them really quick. So I got one came in. I already opened it up, and I opened it on the Patreon, man. And these are the kind of things you get to see on the Patreon. I opened it up on there, and I talk more about it. But I just thought it was so nice. I wanted to tell about it on here. And it's this said, "Hey Theo, what's up, Cat Daddy? I'm glad this could actually become full circle. I'm a huge fan of comedy podcasts and listen to them as I do my side gig here and make these candles. And this man is a candle man. A lot of y'all might think men make candles. Yeah, men out there making fucking candles. Why? Because they won't let us be warlords anymore. Because they won't let us throw axes at our neighbors anymore and shoot people with archery. So this man made these beautiful candles, and he asked me what kind I wanted. I wanted root beer. Because my mother used to give me root beer candies sometimes when we would go on road trips. And she used to sell cookies, and I would go along with her and sell cookies, and she would give me root beer candies to keep me off of the cookies. But this one called the Reverend Avery Brewing. These are out of Boulder, Colorado. And I like these. He goes, I hope you enjoy. Be good to yourself because you probably deserve it. And thank you for this candle. This is a root beer candle. I'm going to keep it on my desk here. Thank you very much. As well, what else did I get? Oh, I got a really cool pillow, and I got a book, too. A book came in from my boy Chris, so who's helping out on the Sunday night episodes. And that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys calling. I love you. We'll get into some more calls. A lot of them came in. We'll get into some of them on Monday. But thank you guys for listening to this past weekend. On the way out, I'm going to take us out with, do you want to hear the rap again, or we want that, Chris? I don't know what to do. I'll let, what do we do? I think we go out with the sounds that we came in with. And no offense to you, Jay Savage. I'll put the wrap up separately in a separate clip. And this is Oh Holy Night, the piano for Epidemic Sounds, from Epidemic Sounds. But before we go, I got to also tell you that, and this is the truth, man, a lot of movies, they're not good. A lot of sequels, remakes, they keep doing it. It's ineffective. You know, they want, Sleeping with the Enemy 9. And nobody's even sleeping together anymore. It's just two people just jerking each other off somewhere. And they're not even enemies, they're friends. That's how bad some of these sequels have gotten. And there's other ones, too. Pig, Babe, Pig in the City. Nothing now. It's Babe. The last one was Babe, Bacon for Sale. And that's the whole series. It's like the 5th installment of the series. But I'm just saying a lot of movies are bad. And it's because it's just so hard to get anything made these days. Especially with all these molesters working in the industry and all these sex deviants. But things have changed now. Because now you can go to livetree.com and you can become an investor. And you can pick who produces, who stars in, who casts, and what the plot lines are. You can have a say in what is actually created and have a piece of the back end. So that means that you can invest. It's almost like fantasy football, but for film. You can invest in what you see on the silver screen, and you can own a piece of it and have some return. Have some actual return on your investment. It's like outsourcing movies to the universe. Go check it out, livetree.com. Thank you guys again. Go to theovon.com/store. We got some new Onward shirts that are up there. I got a couple of dates right here. I'm going to be at the Brea Improv in Brea, California, and that's January 11th through the 14th. January 18th through the 20th, I'll be at Jacksonville, Florida at the New Comedy Club. February 16th and 17th, I'll be in La Jolla, California at the La Jolla Comedy Store, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then also in early April, April 6th and 7th, I'll be in Tampa, and that's going to be at Rock Brothers Brewery. Those tickets are not, none of those tickets are for sale yet on my website, but they will be here within the next few days. Happy holidays to you. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Be good to yourselves. You deserve it, man. We all deserve it. You know, be that baby. Show up and be that beautiful, charming baby. But be a man. Know that you're going to become a man. Know that you're going to make a difference. Be it all. You can be it all. You just have to do it for one day. Just Christmas.